All right, and we're recording. So
Yay.
I am super excited to have Isabelle on with us tonight. For you guys that haven't had the chance to listen to her talk either at Summit or in the past, she is the co-creator of Shakeology, the co-creator of the Ultimate Reset, the creator of the 3-Day Refresh, and the creator of our brand new Daily Sunshine, which
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I am super excited about. So my kids have always drank small portions of Shakeology, because my middle one is not a good eater at all.
Welcome to the family.
Right? Not a good eater. But it's hard to get. They can't drink the whole. I mean, they can't drink a whole shake.
I know.
So when this came out, they were at Summit with us. They tried
Oh,
it.
they were.
They
Oh,
were
that's
there.
so
So we
great.
went live, and she tried it. And my oldest now is 9.5. And like I said, we're moving. This is the perfect thing. Like, it's hard to sort of like keep cooking and everything, and it's easy for her. She just comes down and makes it for herself. So
That's such a perfect example because when we're dealing with marketing and stuff, they have to hone in on a certain what people most relate to. But I was like, oh my God, there's so many ways to utilize that, and you just were the example of that. You're moving, you don't have time to make asparagus, and they might not have slept well, and you might be exhausted, and give it, and you feel so good, and you feel so at peace because they got what they needed.
mhm. So what I would love, I mean, I know a couple of people I did get a couple of questions from some people ahead of time, but I would love to just sort of hear about how this sort of came about, because I know a lot of us as parents, we always just gave our kids Shakeology. So really, like, what was the, I guess, sort of,
The incentive.
yeah, to sort of
Yeah.
create this differently?
Well, the incentive usually comes from my experiences at home with my family, my friends. Most of you might not know, but I started a little school for my boy of 3 years ago. We have summer camp as well. So also looking and diagonally and talking with parents and watching the challenges. And so that was one of the challenges, that even my son would only have so much. And but it was more than that, really. It's like me, I've always had to camouflage vegetables, just camouflage muffins, and it's constant, right? And I was very aware. For me, I really believe in a lot of good, healthy fat in the diet, and the balance, and the vegetables and fruits. So my son will like right now he doesn't even eat his blueberries and his raspberry, which is, for a while he liked it. It made me so happy. Now it's over. He only has apple. And so same with the vegetables. I have to camouflage it, or he doesn't finish it, or it's like this fight. And there is a very specific need, and this is specifically done for 4+, right? 4 years plus. There is a great need for the, like I said, well, you were at the summit, so you heard me, and that is the truth, is that I desperately needed to add more fruit and veggies to this diet.
Mhm.
I also, my son would probably be vegetarian or vegan by nature, except that I keep telling him, you're too picky to be vegetarian because you only have lentil once in a while, and you would have to like chickpeas and lentil, and your diet would have to be varied, and it's not. Like I said on stage at the summit, I prayed that he would have my appetite for all that stuff, and he got
You got
called.
Carl's.
So I'm stuck with craving pizza and all that.
Mhm.
So for me, it was a very specific need. He's growing. He's got a growing body, and he needs the basics. He doesn't need crazy stuff. I need to shove protein, fruit, vegetable, healthy fats, and fiber desperately in his diet, and I'm having a hard time. He's getting better, but still, even the fruits, like right now, all I've got is apple.
Mhm.
So when you're more limited, you also have less fiber. So for me, it was a need. How can I make that a pleasant experience for me and my son? I'll continue pushing the veggies on the side as well. But in so many occasions, like the other night, sort of everything tumbled later, so that the timing was off. With parents, it's never when you think it's going to happen. So the timing was off, and it was getting late, and he was craving pasta, and I didn't feel like fighting for the balanced meal. Too tired. He was too tired. It was getting close to bedtime. I didn't want him to have a big bowl of pasta. Very imbalanced for him, especially if he has that, his moods and his sugar, and the whole thing is hell for him and for everybody else. So I gave him a small portion of pasta and a daily sunshine. That way he was not too full, uncomfortable to go to sleep. And he had his pasta, which he wanted, but a small portion. And I knew he had his vegetables, his fruit, his fiber, his healthy fats, and his protein. So even the pasta was balanced. So it didn't have the mood swings, the sugar swings. So to me, it was very much about all these situations, the unexpected situation, which you only understand when you're a parent. There's no way somebody who doesn't have a kid just don't get it. Not because they're stupid, because you don't know how challenging just trying to put his jacket on and zip that thing sometimes. He's wiggling and moving around, and I can't get this jacket to be zipped. And I'm like, oh my God, how does zipping a jacket become so complicated? So I was thinking about all these angles when I created the Daily Sunshine. It was really to get the building blocks, the foundation of healthy eating for growing bodies, which is something that I know if we cultivate health and balance and healthy eating when they are growing up, they will be healthy adults and will understand the concepts as well. So it came from my own experiences where I needed something like that. And I needed to help myself not have these battles all the time between my kid and I, because I want to have a lovely time. I don't want to always be the disciplinarian of what to do, what not to do. I want to have quality time where we're just talking and hanging out and having a lovely time together. And with being a mother, you end up doing a lot of don't do that and go do that. And I think it's important to find a way to carve time where you're just being together. And all these little tricks and tools help us have these very important moments, not just for them, but for ourselves, where we just enjoy each other's presence. So not only was I looking for the foundation of healthy eating for kids, making sure they get it, rushing out of they sleep late, they have no breakfast, I can give him that. I'm rushing out to practice. He didn't have his snack, or he wants a sugary snack because all his friends at school had the thing that is commercial with the funny Snoopy thing. And I don't want to give him that, but he won't fight me on Daily Sunshine. So all these little moments, to me, that was the niche of the Daily Sunshine. And as I looked around, so many mothers around me are dealing with the same thing. And then I tested it at our school with our kids. And not only did it help all these moments, but it did help our teachers. So the kids were more steady, more focused, calmer, and loved it and asked for it. And they made songs and they did drawings. And I saw that we had been able to deliver nutrition in a very yummy, very kid-oriented taste buds, that they would really ask for it. And then I just did a little Instagram. My first I don't do many Instagram, and I'm just learning how to use the tools. But I just did one to thank all the parents that send me videos watching their kids reaching for it and making it themselves and telling me why it was much better than Shakeology. I love that. One kid told me how we should rename Shakeology. It's not as good as the Daily Sunshine. And so it's so fun. And I'm so grateful that it seems to work. I hope it does. And I hope that it serves its purpose. That was really the purpose. So cover all those bases: nutrition, better, healthy lifestyle, all the moments where we don't have time and we want to give them something good, and make them happy too, that they're looking forward to their snacks. So all of that.
Yeah. And I love it. I mean, my kids are, we start school here in 2 weeks, and, they're asking, like, can we take this to school? And I'm like, absolutely. You can take it to school, because you don't need a blender.
Don't forget, you put the powder in that little cup. People think it's water or stuff. They can drink from it, but it's really about that.
And for me to sort of have that on the go, have them take it to school, have them take it when you're picking them up from school and going to, like, you know, we do ballet here, or go to soccer practice or things like that, instead of, like you said, where the kids always have the sugary snacks or the chips. So I guess I remember, you know, noting at Summit that if adults were to drink this instead, you know, instead of Shakeology, maybe they have, you know, maybe they are a celiac and they're super sensitive.
Yes,
You know,
there's all that too. There's all the things that I couldn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people, as I started getting more savvy and getting on calls and listening and getting a lot of questions, I got a lot of people that are saying, I don't know how to work the challenge pack. They can't drink it because of mushroom allergies or all these things, because it is a very complex formula. I've noticed a lot of people that are allergic to mushroom. Like, I'm sensitive to mushroom. I can usually eat them only every 3 weeks. But for some reason, I'm not, I have no reaction to the Shakeology because of the processing. But we had a lot of occasions like that where people couldn't or didn't like it, or who knows why. So now we have an option. But also older people that are on a lot of medications. I was thinking, as I was creating it with the team, I was like, wow, like my mother was a case. At some point, she was on many medications. She's off all of them. She has a daily sunshine and a Shakeology. But at some point, it was complicated. And I flew home in Montreal, and I made her my own stuff, which was the daily sunshine. And she was getting the crappy drinks, I won't name them, that they give. And I was looking at it, but I said, Mom, you're allergic to wheat, you're allergic to soy, you're hypoglycemic, there's tons of sugar. And I was thinking, but most older adults deal with those kind of problems, diabetics, and these drinks are horrible. And so as I thought through, as I'm getting messages, I am now guiding them sometimes to try the daily sunshine if the Shakeology didn't work for whatever reason, technical reason, sometimes just so medication, it may not interfere, but it may, I don't know, some people are too scared to try that little dose. I said, you know, you can try just a few sips. That's what I did with my mom for a while, just a few sips. But if you can't, then now you have the daily sunshine option. And also for me, and it happened many times where I had daily Shakeology twice in a day. Meetings keep getting longer. We have a long drive, Malibu to Santa Monica, like for all sorts of reasons. But very often I was not in the mood for 2 Shakeology. Now I have the daily sunshine, but it's also, I'm realizing, you know, if you were a very picky eater as a kid, i.e. my husband, chances are you grow up and you still don't like that stuff. So Carl now utilizes it all the time as a snack in the afternoon, because it is also for him feeding him more veggies and fruit and healthy fats that he desperately needs. So now between that and the shake, I feel like he's very covered. And so it's finding its place like that more and more in our lives, and everybody that I know and talk to and on Facebook and all that. So it has a lot of uses that I can't market and talk about, but as I talk like this to groups, I find that it's becoming useful. And of course, I'm very pleased to see that some kids that are more challenged in the autistic what's the word in English?
Spectrum.
Spectrum. All sorts of stuff, from ADHD to just picky eaters. It helps them a great deal. I've got a lot of videos from all this spectrum, and it just makes me so happy, because I have worked with a lot of kids and I know how challenging it can be. So it's making me happy on many levels. And it really is the difference. It is based on whole food, just like Shakeology, but it's not as complex, and it's especially loaded with certification, which I still remember the faces of the parents. I just did a video, and as I was closing, I remembered a lot of Canadian mothers, and I remember them begging me for all these certifications. So because the formula is simpler, less ingredient, I was able to afford all these certification, and also go through the time process and the specification, how you go about getting each certification. So we have 5, which is incredible. So now I feel like I've covered many bases in terms of sensitivities and allergies. And I'm very excited about that. And that's only because it's a simpler formula that I was able to get non-GMO, organic, dairy-free, soy-free. So, and gluten-free. So that was very important to me to have an option with all these stems that everybody's been complaining with the Shakeology, but is so complex because we have so many ingredients.
Right.
If people only understood what it takes to get each certification, and because it's such a complex formula, I mean, the shake would cost, nobody would buy it.
Yes.
So, and also because it's a simple formula, because it is true that the standard of Beachbody, sometimes the certification is still not enough. It's still not what we like. So we do test each batch of Daily Sunshine as well, just like we do with the Shakeology. So it is highly inspected and very clean and very pure. So the purity, the quality, the active, all of that is in there. And I also focused on what we in our research discovered, that most kids are low on vitamin C and E, antioxidants, fighting free radical, basically the stress, and they do deal with a lot of stress. Growing up is not easy. So that, and I wanted to deal a little bit with digestion. So probiotics and fiber, and I wanted to deal with their growing bodies, bones. So I made sure to put calcium and vitamin D. There's iron. You can look at the back of the bag, and I did it in a way that was substantial, but still very, very safe. So you could have several servings and not worry about it. So it was very specific to them.
Yeah, and that was actually something I wanted to ask, because a couple of the questions that we had were about the ingredients. So we talk a lot that Shakeology can replace your multivitamin. Does that apply to Daily Sunshine too for kids, or should they still take a multivitamin?
Well, that's the kind of stuff that I have to say, go back to your pediatrician, because they are so different, especially at that age, and they grow and they change. I know my kid, sometimes he gets up in the morning, I'm like, what happened? Like, you just grew. And so it's such a personal, unique need for each kid. I will definitely say, go to your doctor and with him, look at the bag and see if he wants to add something. But we did deal with the basics, and we did deal with the fact that apparently most kids don't get anything, or maybe they don't absorb it. Because I know that, and that I'm not saying it's the case for everyone, but I know that when I was doing more one-on-one session, dealing with nutrition with people, very often they did not absorb, or somehow they didn't feel any difference, or they didn't test, or they didn't know. So there's a lot, multivitamin is a big subject, and there's definitely sometimes a need for it, and it depends which company, how it's processed, the bioavailability, all that stuff. So it's a personal choice, of course. So I can't say it replaced, but I can definitely say apparently a lot of kids don't have enough of these basic ones. And those are the very basic ones, very important and very needed. So since we didn't overdose, I think should be fine. It's considered grass, very safe. I don't see a problem, but that's a question that legally I have to say check with your doctor.
And then you had mentioned, like, it's marketed or it's labeled on the bag for ages 4 and up.
Yes.
Is that FDA compliant? Is that because of the formulation?
Yes.
We have a lot of parents who have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old,
it's basically they look at what their needs are. And so we targeted and dealt with their need, because below 4, they're considered infant and toddler. And that section has very specific nutrients needs as well that are specific to their group. Now, it's considered safe. So again, check with your doctor, but it would be very safe. Even our vitamins, we're checking now for the vitamin C, but it's very safe. And we did that so that parents would not have to worry. But I need to say, if you intend to give it to 4 and below, check with your doctor, show them the back the bag, the ingredients, the vitamins, and let your doctor say yay or nay. And the rest is all whole food. It's basically food, very simple food that you recognize. There's nothing odd in there.
Right.
So all the rest of it, it doesn't matter. But check with your doctor, because we did think of 4+.
Mm-hmm.
That was our targeted group.
The biggest question I think that we got, it was from a few coaches on our team and a couple of parents that I spoke to as soon as this was released, and we were able to sort of take a picture of the packets and show them the ingredients. Cane sugar. It's listed as like the 3rd or 4th ingredient on the bag. Is there a lot of sugar in there? I mean, do we have,
anybody who knows me knows that right. That's just not what Beachbody does.
Right.
So no, actually it's only 3 grams of organic cane sugar.
Okay.
We use stevia for that very purpose. So we made sure that we had, stevia is a plant, and we used it because it's very sweet, but it adds no sugar and no calorie. So in a serving, I think it's only 12 calories of sugar. And it's, like I said, consider that an apple has 19 grams of sugar, and nobody worries about giving an apple to their kids. Consider
I agree with you.
Most of the colas have 33 grams of sugar. Know that all the fast food is loaded with sugar, even sugar in their oil to make it addictive. So it's only, the 4 to 5 grams of the sugar comes from the organic blend of fruit and vegetable. So that would be that's just the regular stuff. That's what in food, when you have a healthy meal, you also have sugar, naturally occurring sugar in the ingredients. Okay. If you see a bag that has 0 sugar and claims to be natural and whole food, I keep telling people, watch out. That means there's no real food in there. And that's peculiar. So 4 to 5 grams is already just natural occurring sugar in the whole food blend. Now we added just pure organic, the same organic cane sugar as Shakeology, only 3 grams, because it was very important for the kids to love the taste. And we did hundreds and hundreds of tests on kids, right? On hundreds of kids, where we were testing how to round up the taste so it wouldn't have any aftertaste, any bitterness, so that they would want it. Because the goal is that they want it, that you don't have to fight, that they get their healthy fats, their fruit, their vegetable, and their 10 grams of protein. We want them to have the whole thing. It's 3 grams. It's really nothing. It's when you compare that with the 10 grams of protein and the 3 grams of fiber alone and the healthy fats, it's so balanced. And I dare you to go out there and tell me what even the healthy snacks look like. Just like I said on stage, I did that. And I did that way before my son, because I eat a lot in one day. So I'm a grazer. I tried the 3 meals a day. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work with my lifestyle, which is why I created the Shakeology as well. Very selfish person here. I looked for snacks, and they're always imbalanced. They're always high in sugar. It's always challenging not to find some elements in it that's not healthy, that's not processed, and on the list goes. I did it. I looked, and I couldn't find it. And so I dare parents to find it. Can you just grab a bag of nuts? Of course. And you can also grab an apple. But then you're going to deal with the sugar that you say you don't want. So 3 grams is nothing. I'm actually surprised. But as I just said in the video, I'm happy that parents are challenging us, and I'm happy they're asking that question, because that means they're educated. That means that they care. That means that they want to know what they give their kids. And so I welcome it. But really, it's very sound nutrition. Pediatrician approved, nutritionist designed, a panel of experts that just confirmed and looked over everything we did. It's good stuff. So, yeah. That's my sugar story. And don't forget.
And I'm glad, because, regardless of it's, people tend to, some people still don't know the difference, or they don't differentiate between organic cane sugar and then refined sugar. And
brown sugar.
They sort of treat it like a buzzword. So to sort of have that.
But also the amount.
Right.
It is true that even natural sugar, honey is fantastic. But a lot of granola-like bars have honey, and oh my God, the amount of sugar is intense. So that's why I'm saying not only is it only 3 grams of added sugar, but it's only 3 grams compared to the whole formula. I dare you to go out there and check out what else is out there. It's very little. On all levels, it's very little.
Yeah. The last question that I actually had was going back to the gluten-free. We still have a disclaimer on the package, and I don't know if you can answer this, if this is a legal question or not, that it's made in a facility that processes wheat. Will it eventually be processed somewhere that doesn't, so it can have will it have the certified
gluten-free? Yeah, it's there is no gluten. We test, actually there's a video that should be out, like as I'm speaking, that answers that question. I wish I had the little statement because I read it to make sure it was super clear. But it is gluten-free. There is no gluten in Daily Sunshine. And we clean and all the equipment, and we sanitize, and we have it tested before and after each batch. But because there is other product being processed in the facility, we have to say that just to be crystal transparent, because it's around. But we took every necessary step to clean the equipment, to sanitize it, to test every batch to make sure this is why we could have the stamp. It's been tested according to the authorities. It is gluten-free, but we wanted to make sure, because we have so many questions on allergies and sensitivities, we wanted to really be clear that we did all that. It is certified, but somewhere at some point in the facility, they will process things with these elements. And legally, we wanted to do it. We wanted to make sure that you were very clear on it. But we do due diligence, and we would not get the stamps if we hadn't done due diligence. We wanted, same thing with the nut.
That was going to be my next question.
It's the same thing, and I do highly recommend that you listen to a little video that I was told was going to be out between 3:30 and 4 today, our time, Pacific time. So it must be floating out there. I'm not sure where it goes, but I decided to read the statement for both questions so that we were very clear, and we're hoping that that little video that I did answered all those questions.
Yeah, because I have a lot of people who would start to show an interest in Shakeology, but they have kids who have severe nut allergies that they don't even, want it in the house for fear of it. So to have this as an option.
This is why I work with the stamp. We got the stamp, and I was gonna say something about that just now. I forgot, but I'm happy that I did that video. Whatever I forgot, it's in there.
Well, we're definitely gonna look for that.
Yeah, I hope it helps. I hope it's a good tool for everyone.
Yeah, I think so, because I think that those really were the biggest questions. I know that it says gluten-free on the packets, but the stamp doesn't match the actual seal. Is that just because it hasn't been released for long enough?
I don't know. All I know is that I got it.
Yeah.
We are gluten-free. I'll have to check what the stamp looks like, what it looks like. I don't know.
Somebody asked, and they were looking for an answer, but I just thought.
But you know what? I wish I had. I'm always showing up like that. I wish I had a pen, because I want to write down all the sort of questions where I don't have an answer, and I want to do another video with those other questions that I haven't covered. So that's a good one. I hope I don't forget. But maybe in the fact.
Okay.
Maybe if it's not in there, it's probably because it's just gluten-free.
Somebody asked in one of the.
So it looks different in the back or in the front, or?
Yeah. So I don't even have a packet in here because again I'm packing.
Me neither.
But it just has the circle that says gluten-free, and if you were to go, grab like a something that has the certified gluten-free logo, it looks slightly different. And
I saw that the one that we have, I've seen in many products, but I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
So good question.
I do remember somebody saying that it had to be released for a certain period of time before that actual stamp could go on the package. That could be what it is.
I'll find out, and I'll make sure that it goes I'll go to Mike
Yeah.
and I'll make sure that it goes in the FAQ so
Yeah.
that it can refer that person to the FAQ later on.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her know.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that all those questions I can at least get the answers in there.
I think the last thing was just, I think people are just looking for, I know it's a snack for adults. Is it considered a full meal replacement for kids, or is it considered a snack?
It's considered a snack because it's 120 calories. And I don't even know if one would know what a full meal calorie-wise would be for kids. Because I haven't seen one kid eat the same. For all the kids around me. And I know my kid eats twice as much as most of his friends. So whatever the portion would be, he'd be like, heck no, I need twice that. So I don't know how they would do a meal replacement for kids that way. But again, I'm not an authority in that kind of stuff in terms of calories and portion. But we designed it to be a snack. Now, I already dress it up as well, like I do with Shakeology, to make it a meal. So let's say we don't have time to eat. He's late for his doctor appointment. It's lunchtime. His blood sugar will drop. So what I'll do is, because I know he'll drink the whole thing, because it's made with the elements that I need him to have, then I add almond milk, pure, when you put the almond, you sprout them, you blend them. It's very rich, very full in nutrition. I put that. And I put a third of an avocado, almond butter, and it's even better because we know that Daily Sunshine is designed sweeter for kids' taste. And then you do all that. So when you dress it up, it's quite the smoothie. It's very yummy. And then it's a full meal for sure because it's loaded. So I do that already. I did that just recently when I had to rush to the doctor. So So that way, to me, it's a meal, and I'm sure that the calories are good.
Close to a meal, yeah. I think that was it. Thank you so much. This was so informative. I'm so glad that we got so many straight to the point answers from you.
Yes, I love that.
This really was gonna be such a good resource.
I hope so. I really hope it finds its place. As always with our products, it's really designed out of a need. Carl started the company because he hates exercising. We started a place where it would be accountable and it would be easy at home. And he could do it at 5 a.m. before going out the door or late at night. So he did it out of a need, thinking somebody else probably needs that. And all the products that I designed or co-created with our team, our amazing team at Beachbody, I keep having to give them credit. They're so good. I just love them all. And they always have a purpose. There's always a reason why we start. It's not just, what else can we put out there? It's usually like, I need this. So somebody else might need that as well. And the Daily Sunshine, I know it's something I needed. And people have been asking me for a long time. Honestly, I was starting to feel desperate because I know it's at least 5 years ago that I was starting to hear that question, and they wanted all these certifications, and I was like, I know, I'm trying to get it through. So so that's the purpose with our products. It's to help ourselves and hopefully help others, which is what you do, guys, right? The coaching business it helped me, it could help you. What can I do?
But I mean, I love it. And like you said, like it just identifies a need. And like, I know Lauren's on here and I know she can attest to it. Like we're always posting in the 5-star page, like we would love it if we had this. And like that, like there's Carla, there's Isabelle with something, we were all doing those Shakeology cleanses. And the next thing we know, like here's the 3-day refresh. So we don't have to do that.
That was a funny story. Did Carl say that story where he was so excited that people were doing a 3-day cleansing with Shakeology, and I turned around and I was like, no, that's not designed for that. If they really want that, let me do that. So that was so great because that was such synergy. That was really responding to something that was happening all by itself. I was very excited about that.
Yeah. And that's something that's taken off. I mean, we constantly have coaches continuing to do it. I think it's great. But this, I think with, like Lauren's saying too, she has allergies, and when we have older kids that are always on the go, this is really
college and oh yes, that's so true. I mean, we do it with my stepdaughter. It's very useful. Grab that, go.
Yep, grab it, throw it in your bag with the shaker cup and go. And I think that was the biggest thing is we were surprised at how well it just shook up without blending it,
Yeah.
adding anything.
Cold water. You don't even need ice. It's
Yeah.
really just super cold water or some kind of milk, whatever you like. But even the strawberry banana, personally, I like it better with just cold water.
Yeah.
The chocolate, yes, you can definitely also do cold milks, but that's what I wanted. Something that tasted. You didn't have to dress it up. You didn't have to do anything to it. It could be that good and that simple. And I've seen a lot of videos with kids making it themselves, and that made me really happy. My son makes it all by himself and makes him feel very big, very independent, and he likes it. So I'm hoping other kids have fun with it as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I know it's probably getting to be dinner time out there for you, but I appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat with us. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So check the video if you have any more questions, or messenger me. I think that's what you say, messenger me, right? Messenger me, and if you have other questions that have not been answered, because maybe I'll definitely answer them and put them in the FAQ right away, or have Mike do it. But then eventually I might just do another video with more questions, and maybe we can just add the answer that way, because I think it's pleasant to have someone talk to us. So maybe the video will be easier for you to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
So, I welcome them, and thank you for being here and asking those questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Isabelle.
We are
so grateful for all that you guys do and all that you've created.
Right back at you. And be well and stay healthy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Isabelle.